So I'm not too sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that like this is the first time we've seen Lily in like 100. No, a hundred's a bit too high. In like a good chunk of episodes, like where he actually has like dialogue and he's not like in the background or anything like that. Because I don't remember him being in the filler arc, if you count that. He didn't have like the Omake episodes when it's like the Frosh one, or is it Frosh? Roach the Frog cat thing that Rogue has. He play a key episode or play a key part in that episode. Excuse me. And like I said, this is the first time we've seen him since probably the Grand Magic Games. I feel like, which is a long time if you think. Oh no, that's not true. Well, if you consider the little arc like right after when they're all underneath the castle trying to rescue. I forgot who they're trying to rescue, but when like the fairy tale anime came back in 2014. Anyway, continue off of last episode of Fairy Tale, they pretty much just hype up the fights between everyone, like Gray versus Silver, Juvia versus Keith. I believe it's Gajeel versus Tempest. I think that's who he's facing, and then Natsu versus the other guy. They just pretty much hype those and put those on the back burner because those are future fights. And in this episode, they tackle what is it, Erza versus Minerva, which pretty much just acts as like a little back story, like back. Why can't I think today? Backstory for Minerva. And as we see through the backstory, we see that Gemma, I believe, is her father's name, the ex-leader of the ex-master of Sabretooth. We see that he has to compensate for his small penis and make sure he defeats everyone and all that good stuff. And then he hashes that on to Minerva, and she starts like pausing between her fights because she's having flashbacks. And then it was, oh man, Erza this episode. She was actually kind of funny because I think it was being self-aware. Like when Minerva's talking, Erza just goes for the punch and not let her talk. Not only that, they also have like she says, stop dazing around, and just decks her in the face. But the whole fight between like Minerva and Erza was kind of lackluster. I feel like because like after they use like one magic skill, like whenever like Minerva switched places with Erza, and then when Erza's swords break, she doesn't like Erza doesn't re-equip or anything like that, and Minerva doesn't do that skill again. Instead, they just like start punching each other. And I was like, you guys have magic, right? It's not like face has gone off yet because you still have magic. And Margear, being the badass he is, he kind of breaks out of the little thing that the Celestial Spirit King put him in, the little stone imprisonment thing. He breaks out of that within like what has it been, one episode, and it literally goes up to the fight between Minerva and Erza because they kind of resolve their issues, and I want to say become friends, but they resolve their issues and put the past behind them, which is good. And then Sting and Rogue show up and are like, "Yo, we're here for you, my lady." And Frosh, being the cutest thing, is like, "You guys can relax now because we brought lunch." And then I'm assuming there's gonna be a fight between Sting, Rogue, and Margear. And by assume, I mean there is a fight between them. There's also another fight between someone else, but we'll wait till we get there. Anyway, what else is there? There is the whole face thing where we learn that there's just not one face, but the real identity behind face is that there's multiple, and they're around the continent. And poor Wendy, Wendy and Carla, their hard work is kind of lackluster due to the fact there's more than one. And on the topic of Wendy showing that she is growing up as a character, character evolution, all that, she decides to cut her hair to give it like a bob cut. And to be honest, that's not my favorite of hairstyles on girls. And then, yeah, that's about it. She's like, I'm not gonna cry anymore, and we're gonna take these all down, yay. And my overall thoughts on this episode was that it was, I want to say boring, but, it wasn't up there like last week's. And my overall thoughts on this episode are that, it wasn't a boring episode per se, but, it wasn't as good as the last episode and, 2 episodes ago. Like when Lucy loses Aquarius and all that whatnot. Like this episode was just kind of there to be there. It's like building up a bunch of stuff. I mean, it does resolve the Erza versus Minerva fight, but that's about it. Like honestly, the highlight of this episode for me personally was the whole Happy and Lily moment where like we see that Franmouth, he's on top of Happy's head, and and then they just have a little gag moment between like Lily just trying to stop trying to get the mushroom on top, like off of Happy. Like that's honestly like my favorite moment. So I don't know why I'm gonna throw this in here, but I'm just gonna do it for the hell of it. Quick trivia fact is that these two characters, Rise Kuchikawa from Persona 4 and Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening, have the same voice actors both in English and in Japanese. What I mean by that, and this is relevant to Fairy Tail, and I'm gonna get to it, is that in English they share the same voice actress of Laura Bailey, and in Japanese I don't know the voice actress's name, but these two characters share the same voice actress of Happy. That's right, Happy voices these two. The voice actress for Happy voices these two and Taiga from Toradora, or that's not her name. I don't remember her name, but you get where I'm getting at is that these two are voiced by Happy. Happy. Let that sink in. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode of Fairy Tail. Let me know yours down in the comments below. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching. I truly do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all next time. So till then, bye-bye!